Hey, what's up, Star Wars CCG community? Fatty here, your main boy, your boyfriend, coming at you with a brand new series I've been meaning to make for a while, just on some of my favorite cards, why they're my favorite cards, and a lot of nostalgia involved. So I really like the way the Star Wars CCG community has been moving the last few years, the forums and the Facebook groups and everybody getting into collecting, and it's been so hot right now. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying the discussion and people remembering all their times from tournaments, and then the new players. It's all been great. So I'm going to focus on pretty much Premiere through Death Star 2 because those have the most nostalgia for me. Not that I don't like the Episode 1 cards, but they just don't have the cachet that the Premiere through Death Star 2 cards have. So this first week, this video I'm going to have is top 5 light side and dark side underrated character cards. So in the comments below, I want you to tell me what your most underrated character cards are, and you can maybe tell me why, or disagree with my list because it's probably not a very good list. And I will choose somebody at random from the comments, and in the next week's video I will send a free Premiere limited edition starter deck sealed as a little incentive for you to watch my stupid video series. So I hope you stay tuned, and I hope to talk to you soon. So happy collecting.
My number 5 pick for most underrated light side card goes to 2-1B. Sure, he's kind of crap with his 1 destiny and his 0 power, but he deploys for 2, has a pretty decent forfeit of 5, and his ability is pretty insane. If you have a high forfeit character, say you have Obi-Wan or something with a forfeit 9 and goes to your use pile, you can soak up a lot of damage with him. Plus, a lot of people use the back to tank, and subtracting 2 from that is not that bad a thing. I've actually had 2-1B used against me a few times, and he did all right. Sure, he's not the best, but underrated card in my book. Number 4 goes to our friendly Goel. I don't even know how to say it. Goel. And read his flavor text right on top. I'm not even sure what that means. See, my Star Wars lore isn't that in depth, but there's a lot of, maybe it's a Spanish version of the card, I'm not sure. But underrated. Destiny 4. Really good Destiny. Deploy for 2, forfeit 4, so he's cheap. Interior sights only, sure. Limiting. Power 0, sure. Ability 2. But if you throw him down as a surprise, I mean, he can really make it so your opponent can't draw Destiny. I mean, Destiny plus 3, plus ability, greater than ability. I think it's got some good potential to just maybe be thrown in there as a surprise. I think it's underrated. I've used him before with great effect, so that's number 4. Number 3, of course. You guys all guessed it. You've been waiting for it. Jar Jar Binks, everyone's favorite character. He's great. He's fun. He's cool. He's sexy. Power 3, ability 3, really good. Deploy for 2. I mean, if this guy came out in Premiere, he would be one of the best cards. He's a little overpowered based for if he was in an earlier set, but he's in Tatooine. Destiny 2, okay. But I mean, his explosive ability of just eliminating somebody from the battle, targets lost, I think you could use him as a Jar Jar bomb. Plus, I mean, art is just fantastic. It's priceless. I think it's a very underrated card, and everybody's collection should have many of these. I expect these to go up in value significantly after this video. So just throwing that out there. Jar Jar Binks, number 3. Number 2, Obi-Wan from Special Edition. I really like this Obi-Wan. The thing that sucks about him is deploys only to Tatooine. That's bad. But his high forfeit, his quite frankly, besides the Tatooine thing, he has a great ability. I mean, the dueling is amazing if you're playing Hunt Down, adds 2 to your total. Once per turn, can revive a character, which is, he's like 2-1B, but even better. I think Obi-Wan, this version of Obi-Wan is underrated. I know Tatooine is all, but I just haven't seen him play that much. If somebody wants to tell me why he's not played that much, or maybe I'm just out of the loop, just let me know. But I think he's very underrated. Now, my most underrated card for the light side. I might catch some flack for this, but it's R3PO. Maybe you're going to say, hey, hey, R3PO is played a lot. But I actually don't see him played that much. First of all, there's 2 versions of him. Actually, 3 versions. There's a white border too, and a Japanese version, so actually 4. But he's great. So many people are running spies, and he can just be thrown down on the table. You don't even need presence there. And a lot of droids are spies, and he's very useful to make people lose force all game long if they don't have something like a snipe in him or whatever. And he deploys for 2. He's Destiny 3. I throw him in a lot of my light side decks, especially if it's Premier through Death Star 2 or Premier through Special Edition. Throw him in there. He's a great addition. I think he's underrated. Plus he has 2 different arts, and I don't know which one's cooler, but I like them both. This one actually has the plastic. It's in a sheath, sleeve, but it's also got the plastic from when you sent it back to Decipher. They would send, if you sent this card back to Decipher, they would send you this version of the card. And actually, this is a picture in the Unlimited set. The Hoth set has, I'm actually not sure I can't remember which one the Hoth set has. I'll have to go check on that. So, moving on. Now the dark side. Now the dark side. Most underrated cards. All right. Number 5. Oh, good old Commander Nemeth. Nemeth, you got to correct me if I'm saying these names wrong. So, Destiny 2, not the best. Play for 2. Opponent may not react to or from the same location. A lot of these Endor decks and a lot of these Death Star 2 decks are using reacts. He's just, I guess I've seen him in a few decks, but he is underrated. He's a pilot. 1 to the power, 1 to the maneuver. Yeah, he's not a very good pilot, but you can really throw somebody off that you know is going to react or to or from. So it takes care of that. I forget what the guy's name is. The guy who reacts away. He takes care of that guy too. So he's a lot of uses. You could really hammer your opponent with a lot of damage when you throw him in the deck. All right, number 4. All right, Kid Cat. It's like Kid Cat Bar. I'm not even sure how to say it. Yes, I know he sucks. It's a bad card. It's a bad card, but he's such a good card. Deploy for 6, forfeit 2. Terrible. But say you did have the situation where you threw down this guy and they couldn't react away or react to the battle. You throw him down. That's 8 extra power, and 8 extra power for 6 force. That's a big chunk. Yes, he gets destroyed by permanent weapons. Yeah, I understand. But I think he's underrated. I've thrown him in a lot of dark side decks, and guess what? He's won me some big battles. He's also gotten destroyed, too, with getting shot by weapons. But I think he's underrated. I don't see him very much. I like him. I think it's a him. All right. Number 3, most underrated dark side character card. Trooper Gerald Belden. The good old Belden. See, he's like Ozzel. Ozzel's in every deck. He's great. Not even underrated. But I think this guy, he's underrated because just look at what he does. He gets, opponent may not, he deploys only in the Cloud City, but may move elsewhere. Power plus 2. He's like power 4. Yes, he's very niche, but when you have a Cloud City deck, throw him in there. He's a trooper. He's power plus 2 in a battle you initiate, so just that extra power. He's kind of similar to this guy where you can just hammer in the power. And I like him. I throw him in my Cloud City decks. Doesn't mean it's a good decision, but that doesn't say a lot. So number 2, Barquin Dan, not to be forgotten. I like Barquin Dan a lot. I know he's not as popular as Figuring Dan, but if you have High Destiny's Dark Side deck, he's just as good. I mean, you're retrieving a force every game. I just don't see him played. Maybe it's because Dark Side doesn't have the Destinies that Light Side have or have the same style of decks, but I think Barquin Dan is just as good as Figuring Dan, but underrated to say the least. All right, now for number 1 underrated card, and you guys aren't going to like this. Vader. This version, Premier Vader, underrated. Underrated. I know he gets played a ton. Premier decks from back in the day had 8 of them in here, but newer decks playing Lord Vader, Darth Vader with a lightsaber, the Lord Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith with the built-in choke. Yes, those are all really good Vaders. But what makes this my number 1 is it's just I think it's better than the other Vaders in most situations. Just the one to each Battle Destiny is so good. Maybe I'm showing bias because I see so many decks with Lord Vader and so many decks with Dark Vader with lightsaber. It's just not as common to see him. Yes, you still see him a lot, but I still think whenever somebody puts down a Vader and it's a different version and not this Vader, I sigh a little relief. I'm like, oh, they didn't play the good Vader. So that's my opinion. Plus, it's the most iconic card in Star Wars. Coolest art in Star Wars. I mean, you can't beat it. Underrated, maybe overrated, but definitely could use some more play. All right, bonus. This is an underrated card, and I think you'll all agree with me here that this guy is a little underrated, but he didn't make either of the lists because I've never actually seen him played. It's Geordi LaForge. His integrity is 8, his cunning's 8, his strength is 6, so he's as strong as Vader. I don't know why I don't see him played. He's cute, he's handsome, he's got the visor thing and the disability thing, and that's fine in the future. And you know what? I think he's underrated. He has physics, computer skills, navigation, engineering. I think this card's a knockout. I want to see it played more, and I want to see it played more in conjunction with this card too. So that's all I got to say about that. So thanks for tuning in to my silly thing, and leave a comment, and we'll send you one of these, somebody random, okay? All right, thanks. Bye, guys.